Okay, so let's do it. This is going to be my third CTT session.
Is there anything in particular you want to go for?
Let's go for the optimum. Let's just stick to what works.
It's true. And I get people all the time that are saying, I have money issues, I have relationship issues, I have trust issues, I have this, that, and the other. And actually, you know what? Going for a specific issue doesn't yield a powerful results like going for the optimum. So let's go for the optimum for you. Okay, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to clearly connect with an event that was let's go for the joyful. Let's say joyful optimum.
Do we have to tap for the optimum, or you're able to just tap right in?
Oh, I just go right in. So cool. Yeah, so let me go in for the joyful optimum for you. Okay, so you're hauling buckets of water. You're a slave. And you're hauling buckets of water. You've got that long, what are those things? Like the stick, you know what I'm talking about? Like the long piece of wood, like branch or...
Mm-hmm.
And you have
a bucket holding it like this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And there's a stick and then 2 buckets of water.
Yeah, that's you. And you're hauling these buckets, right? And you are enslaved. This is going to be somewhere in Egypt. This is going way back. And you are so tired, you're hot. And the thing is, you're hauling this water, but you're not allowed to drink any, okay? Because if you drink any of the water, they think that you are a weak slave and they'll kill you, right? They actually, the way that they kill people is they tie them with their hands behind their body, and they tie a noose around their neck, and they just sort of, what happens is you eventually get tired and you can't stand up anymore, and you hang yourself. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, I'm glad you know that, because I've never seen that before in CTT reading. I've seen like people where they've had the chairs kicked out from underneath them and things like that, but I've never seen it so brutal where you're made to stand up and then actually you're responsible for your own death because your legs give out and you hang yourself. Okay. So you thought, I'm going to sneak a drink. I am so thirsty. If I don't get a drink, I'm going to die. And you took a sip of water and you were sipping throughout the day. Every time you'd go down to fetch water, you would like trip in the water, or you ended up somehow with your face in the water. You would pretend to fall in and you would intake some water at that point to get sips of water in. And they noticed at the end of the day, lots of people had passed out with dehydration. And you were still going strong. I say you're going strong. I'm looking at you. You're not that strong at all. But by comparison to the others, you are going strong. And they say, he must have had some water, because everybody else has fallen out. So let's kill him. And then they march you up to that platform and they tie your hands behind your back and they put the noose around your neck. Like, it's weird how they tie, you know what I mean? So it's strange how they tie it around your neck. It's not even tight really around your neck, but you're not able to move because of your hands being bound. And again, they're just, they just leave you there. Oh, his legs will give out, right? There's loads of dead people on the platform where they've killed them for taking a drink. And can you actually feel this as I'm telling you? Because I feel like you can.
I'm just putting myself there, and I'm questioning, like, there must have been a lot of people, a lot of extra slaves,
There were.
they can just kill as many as they want.
Everybody was enslaved. And in fact, you were Jewish in that lifetime,
Hmm.
and you were enslaved in Egypt. Definitely.
So we were building the pyramids, or this is just
Oh, that's a
um,
good question.
a general
No,
timing? No.
no, you weren't building the pyramids. We should do a session on how the pyramids were built, but you
Yeah.
weren't building the pyramids. You were building walls in order to almost like dam walls in order to move the water to a better location. Okay. That's
Hmm.
what was going on there, almost like a concrete irrigation system.
Okay.
Listen, it was dry and hot out there, and yeah, it was a concrete irrigation system, but just building walls.
Hmm.
It was brutal. So now you're up on this podium, or this platform, and you're holding on as long as you can, Craig. It's very sad. You're holding on and you're saying, oh, and I can feel your legs giving out, and then you catch yourself and you're like, no, I'm not going to let them win. But you just couldn't do it anymore. You were exhausted, and you left feeling like a failure.
Hmm.
You left the earth plane feeling like a failure. But what I'm saying is, like, how can you feel like a failure when the odds against you were so impossible that you would never win? But for you, within your soul, nothing is ever impossible for you. And that's how you view everything. Nothing is impossible. And I think sometimes, especially in that lifetime, you are so self-judging that you're too hard on yourself. Like, I'm just questioning, I'm looking at you in the spirit world after you left the earth plane, and you're going, I'm a failure. I'm a complete failure. I let everybody down. What I should have done is, not only should I have not let my legs collapse, but I should have killed every soldier out there, right? Every soldier out there, and I should have taken the land back over, because your land was conquered and you were enslaved. So that's how you view everything. And I'm saying, no, that's not right. So let's tap, I don't know where this is going, so let's tap that away.
Okay.
And if you have any emotions that you want to inject into the session, then by all means feel free, because a lot of times other people, that are receiving the session, they feel the emotions. So
Well, let me ask you something. So
mhm.
I like the quality about myself that I can do everything, but
Yeah,
I do, you know, like, like if you work hard enough, you can do anything. And I've been putting, oh, well, I have to have the vision and then go for it. And kind of like a round two kind of a thing. I've been coasting a little. So I think that's where it's coming from. But like, if I do this tapping session, I don't want to absolve that, ability. You know what I mean? Like, I have the ability to tap in and work hard, but is this just the feelings of failure relating to?
yeah. It's the feeling. Yeah, we're not going to take away your ability to work hard. It's the feeling of failure when everything is stacked against you and the odds are impossible, right?
Hmm.
You don't need to feel like a failure, because what happens is you recreate that scenario, these impossible scenarios, again and again and again, because that is the life lesson that you need to overcome. That, hey, you know what? I tried my best. My best is good enough, and I'm not a failure. That's what the lesson is here.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's tap.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. There's a part of Craig that knows how to
There's a part of me that knows how to
let go and heal
let go and heal
all of these feelings of
all of these feelings of,
even though it was an impossible task,
even though it was an impossible task,
I feel like a complete failure.
I feel like a complete failure.
I judge myself too harshly.
I judge myself too harshly.
My best should be good enough.
My best should be good enough.
But for some reason, I do not accept that.
But for some reason, I do not accept that.
There's a lot of anger in there.
So
there's a lot of anger, self-hatred.
So removing anger, self-hatred,
Still removing anger, self-hatred, depression,
and
a lot of anxiety to overcome these impossible challenges.
And the anxiety to overcome these impossible challenges.
And when you don't succeed, you feel like a failure.
And when I don't succeed, I feel like a failure.
And there's also this massive fear of failure.
And the massive fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to look like a failure to anybody.
I don't want to look like a failure to anybody.
Or they will see me as vulnerable.
Or they will see me as vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. That part of your being is willing to inform the rest of you now.
That part of my being is willing to inform the rest of me now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Craig's mind, body, and spirit are receiving the love.
My mind, body, and spirit are receiving the love.
Healing, information, permission.
Healing, information, permission.
And deep relief now.
And deep relief now.
Take a deep breath. And I'm transmuting all of that bad energy. It just left your body. I saw it.
I just felt it. That's so weird.
I saw that. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it. It is done.
So be it. It is done.
That was a huge ball of energy that you just lifted. Did you feel that?
There was a moment where you said, and I felt it like on my left leg, and then, I kind of felt, it's very faint, but it and then you said it, and I was like, oh, I felt it, So, also when we're doing the tapping and I'm repeating it feels like there's an echo, and it happens always when we do it with the tapping, but I just kind of felt like maybe it's the reverberation of that effect, or just little weird things when you're doing it. I'm more hypersensitive since I've had the experiences of like burping, or I had my ears ringing, and things like that. So validating stuff where you're doing something so awkward and unusual, you don't really know if this is just a placebo or whatever, and then you get all these weird effects, and it's pretty cool. So okay.
And if there's some, your intuitive abilities, and I don't want to be one of those psychics that says, yes, you can be psychic, because I'm sorry, everybody who's listening to this, not everybody can be psychic. I'm sorry. I hate to burst your bubble. No, you know what I mean? You're born this way most of the time, 99.9% of the time. And it's a wonderful gift. Yes. And I'm very grateful for that, but I'm not going to be one of those people that says, pay me $500 and I'll make you psychic. They're scammers, right? But what it does do is the CTT, everybody has some sort of, ability that they're good at, right? So whether it's, assessing people, if it's filling the atmosphere, if it's praying, if it's meditating, whatever it is. And what the CTT does, it does expand on that. So when you're saying you're feeling all of these things, it's expanding on that. Okay. And yesterday I did a brief CTT with somebody who, when they saw this huge like white orb floating in front of their face when I was doing it. He was like, is that normal? And I was like, that's a good sign. A white orb floating in front, that means like that's healing. A white orb is very good. You know, that's like a healing white light energy. So, yeah, so let's go back to you. Yeah, that
Okay,
left your body.
let me
Mhm.
stop this one, then we'll do the next one. So it's like a shorter.
Okay.
Okay.